Okay, the DBD upcoming playable test beta, whatever, public test beta, yeah. The patch notes for the upcoming update. I've heard it's a doozy. I have not seen anything yet. I know they are changing camping and slugging and tunneling, and so I'm going to, as a perfectly split, about 500 hours and about 500 hours Survivor Killer, I'm going to give my opinion. I'm putting these stats up so nobody can say that I am biased in any way. I have about another 1,000 hours on PlayStation, but also keep in mind these do not count for special matches. So take that for what you will. I'm just putting these stats out there. I have no bias. I'm looking at these with an open mind and a hopeful spirit. All right. Developer update, August 2025. New feature, slugging reduction update, major update. Okay. If a survivor is left in a dying state for a total of 90 seconds during a match, they gain the ability to pick themselves up after fully recovering. Okay. So let me put this, before we go any farther, I want to put this into perspective. If a killer knocks all 4 survivors to the ground, I don't think that should be the end of the match. And more than likely it is. If a killer knocks all 4 survivors, regardless of like how many gens we're at, unless someone has Unbreakable and is really good, the game's essentially over. I'd say about 85% of the time. So I like the fact that we're not just slugging to bleed out. There are too many times where I see survivors bleed out. It's not super often, but I do see a lot of slugging. Now, I don't think slugging itself as a concept is necessarily bad. I think the what's the word? Extremeness of slugging is sometimes bad. And I think the fact that, like, now that when all 4 survivors are on the ground, they just DC and quit, I do think that encourages slugging a little bit more. Maybe up the timer. There's a lot of problems here. I think inherently one problem we have is the bleeding out. I think being slugged on the ground until you can bleed out is just a bad function. It's just a bad mechanic. And maybe that's a hot take. I don't think you should be bleeding out on the floor. Maybe they should get rid of that. That's a big thing I have, but besides the point. Let's say this, because you can only do this twice. What is it, about 3 minutes for you to bleed out? Now, if 90 seconds, that's about a minute and a half, so you could only possibly do this twice. Which I guess, yeah. I don't think this is necessarily that crazy of a change. Certain killers, maybe, I'm not sure. I guess this one I'll have to see in function. I think I like this one. I don't get slugged as Survivor too often, like, to make a huge impact. And I don't slug as Killer for more than, like, maybe 40 seconds. Usually if someone's right there, I go for them. I think endgame, I think this will make a big difference in endgame, where you have 2 survivors and you're chasing one while others getting slugged and just running around. In this case, I think that's good. It's just something for the survivor while they're laying on the ground, because it just sucks. And let's be honest, it sucks to just sit there and bleed out on the floor. And you could say, oh, get good. But there are some situations you just can't help. Like if you have bad teammates and an aggressive killer who wants to slug, it just sucks sometimes. And so I think this change might be a little bit nice. That being said, I guess we'll have to see it in function. My opinion on this, good. I think that bleeding out on the floor is just a problem. It's just, why is it there? I don't get it. If you could explain to me in comments, feel free. But added the option to enable or disable this mechanic in custom games. Okay. Perks that enable you to recover from the dying state, like blank, will continue to function as before without needing to meet this requirement. Okay. Gradually increase crawling speed for survivors who are left in a dying state. I like that. On its own, I like that. I mean, tenacity has its value. I guess. Added the ability for survivors to recover while crawling. Okay, see, all of this combined is a lot. All of this combined, now we get a speed increase. Now we can recover while crawling. I like the increased crawling speed, because, you know, you can crawl towards a teammate. Maybe you can lose the killer. It kind of punishes, the increasing speed for crawling punishes the killer for slugging too much, because he'll start to lose track of survivors. This feels like a lot. This feels like a lot. This, I like. This I like. I feel like this is overkill. I feel like it's a bit much. We'll have to see in game. You would normally have to run 3 perks to attain this. When it comes to slugging, we know it can be frustrating when you're on the receiving end of it too often. Yes. Or for too long. Yes. No, sometimes it's a smart move. The system updated. Okay, looking at all this, my opinion, I think it's too much. I think take away 1 or 2 things. But it's a little too far to go back now. Because I feel like behavior is either going to take it all back or take none of it back. I feel like keep this. Right? 90 seconds is a minute and a half. That means the killer is far gone. Right? Think about that. Oops. A minute and a half means that you have been left on the ground for a minute and a half. The killer is not coming back for you, or they lost you. So, you know, I think this is fine. Increased crawling speed. I think it's okay. I think it's good. Recover while crawling. I feel like that combined with this, combined with all this, more survivors in cases of minor slugging. Let's say 20 to 30 seconds, which I think is perfectly fine. If you down someone like this and someone's right there and you go for them, I think it's fine. This might cause some issues. It might not. I don't necessarily like all of it. We'll see. Tunneling reduction. Okay, we have already gotten a few changes to tunneling, which is fine. But let's see what this is about. When a survivor is hooked and their hook status is hidden from the killer. When they're unhooked, there's no notification and their hook status isn't revealed immediately. Isn't? What? So don't we already don't see hooks as the killer. We see the total amount of hooks, but we don't see the specific hooks to specific killers. Are you talking about the progress bar? Okay, if they're talking about the progress bar, I mean, yeah, I get that. And the reason I understand that is because if a survivor, and I do this too, because it's a good strategy with the information given to us. If a survivor has this much stage left on hook, you know, you stay near the hook. You're going around. You're moving around the map. You're doing this. Then you see the survivor has this much health left on hook. You go back for the little bit, and you're like, nobody coming? Nobody? They die. You go away. That's a kill. And I think that's given that the information is given to us. Whatever. When they're unhooked, there is no notification, and their hook status is revealed immediately. No notification? Oh, God. This is going to be a fucking doozy of an update, isn't it? No notification. I mean, and their hook status. So you're telling me when they get unhooked, there's no notice notification, and you can't tell on the HUD on the left, you can't tell that they've been unhooked? You're taking away information from the killer, whether or not it be all that important. I don't like that. I like this. I like the anti-slugging. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't really like this. This is disabled once all generators are completed. I hate this. I hate the disabled once all generators are completed. I hate that, like, things change for the end game. I don't like that certain perks don't work in end game. Certain ones. I think some perks are fine that they don't work in end game. You know, unhooked survivors gain the following effect for a limited time: haste, endurance, elusive. Oh, this feels like a lot. I won't even lie to you. No collision with other players, both killer and survivor. Okay. The more I read, the more this intense this gets. Immediate killer instinct and sees the killer's aura nearby. This feels a little much. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been playing mostly. Let me put it this way. Killer has been a little stressful recently. And I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying for me particularly, I've been playing a lot more Survivor. I'm a pretty okay survivor. I can sometimes loop the killer for 3 gens. I can sometimes go down immediately. It's iffy. This is a lot. All these effects, except haste endurance, are disabled once the generators are completed. I like that the fact that this is disabled once all the generators are completed, but I don't really like elusive. I mean, no collision with other players is kind of crazy. I mean, like, collision really only hurts survivors, so I don't really have an opinion on that. It's like, okay, immunity to killer instinct. Why? Why killer instinct? And sees the killer aura nearby. So, can I also not see the survivor's aura? These are lost when conspicuous action? Yeah, that's normal. Okay, add a unique effect to the killer hook state UI that indicates the last survivor they hooked. After completing a unique hook, the same survivor is not hooked consecutively. Killers get the following benefits. Okay, see, now here's where I'm conflicted, because this benefits me. Because I play Dracula a lot, and Dracula is good at one thing. Keeping up speed. I hook a survivor, I teleport across the map, I hit that survivor that I'm chasing across the map with a dog dash, and then I transform and I hit him with a flame pillar. I can get downs pretty chain-wise. So this would make that even better. Bonus damage for the next generator kick. Temporary haste status effect. Temporary reveal survivor. Base kit, barbecue, and chili that have lesser equal hook states to the hook survivor. These effects are slightly lessened for Blight... The Dracula! What was I just telling you? Ghoul, Hillbilly, and Nurse. These effects are disabled once all... This is so weird. This is so weird. Why? I mean, I understand that they're giving a bonus for not hooking the same survivor twice. Again, I feel like this is a little much. Slightly lessened for... Whatever. This feels so weird. And I am saying that because I'm biased, because my Dracula, my boy, my Dracula. These effects are disabled. Okay. Added new effect that disincentivizes tunneling. If a survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all remaining survivors get a repair bonus for the rest of the trial. What? Okay. If the survivor that was last hooked is sacrificed or killed, generators cannot be regressed or blocked? What if we're on the last gen? What if we're on the last gen? What? This is bad. No, this is just bad. Okay, so if the survivor dies before 6 total hook states, all members... Now, again, what if this happens late into the trial? Like, we have 2 gens left, or maybe even 1 gen left. But, like... Because this has happened to me before. I've had rounds where I get a 4K. But before I get a 4K, all the survivors are kind of looping my ass. But there's one survivor that I have a very easy time grabbing, right? Because they're not as good as the other survivors. I have had plenty of survivors die before 6 total hook states, but it has been like at 2 gens, maybe even 1 gen. This is weird. It's no secret that tunneling can be seen as an efficient way to play killer. Well, this is true. It's also true the results can be frustrating for survivors, leading to trials ending too quickly. There's a lot of context needed. And these effects, like all these effects, remove a lot of context. I think this, even with context, is good. I like this. I like the slugging. I like the slugging change. For the most part, these feel bad. These feel real bad. Like, I kind of like the incentive for the unique hook thing. But sometimes it's just not, the context just isn't that easy. Okay, I guess, again, we'll have to see it. It feels bad. Imagine here for both roles to feel the benefits and incentives that come from spreading hook states. On one end, survivors have better opportunity. Well, here's another thing. So what if a survivor is on second hook and just fails the skill checks and dies quicker? What then? Is that my fault? Do I get penalized for their decision? What is that? What do we do about that? I don't like this. I really don't like this. Elusive status effect. Added a new status effect that silences grunts of pains and suppresses survivor aura. Pools of blood with scratch marks. So we got off the record. Off the record and Iron Will. That's a lot. That is a lot. That is a lot just for getting unhooked. Okay. Alright. I don't know, man. Updated the tomes menu to feature tomes with accompanying lore assigned to each chapter release. New lore is a lot with okay. Well, oops, I keep clicking on things. Myers, I forgot Myers is getting a change. Replaced Evil Within with 2 modes that can be toggled with a button press. What? Stalker mode. 4.2 movement speed, undetectable, and can stalk survivors. Okay. What is the point of stalking? I guess they'll tell me. Pursuer. 4.6. 24-meter tear radius. Increase vault speed. Bonuses to lunge range, break speed, and stun recovery. Cannot stalk survivors. Once the stalk meter is full, Evil Incarnate mode can be triggered at will, granting the following effects for a limited time. Okay, so you effectively switch between chase and stalk. Okay, good so far. Once stalk meter is full, Evil Incarnate. Okay, so we still earn it like Evil Within. 4.6 movement speed, 4-meter Terius, increase vault speed, unlock Slaughtering Strike. Hold the power button to charge this ability, reducing movement speed. Hold the power button, and then press the attack button while charging to quickly lunge forward, adjusting your angle as you... So it's a pig dash. Wait, so it's a pig dash? Is that it? Is that what Evil Within gives you? If a survivor enters the killer's attack range while they are lunging, they are knocked into the dying state. Oh, okay, so they're still exposed. Okay. This ability can also be used to destroy palace. Okay, maybe. I think this is pretty good so far. Unlocks the ability to grab and kill or perform a regular Mori on survivors who would die the next time they are hooked. Okay, so it basically gives you a Mori. But now let's put it this way. If you Mori, does this stuff still happen? Is there a... Okay, there's no add-on rework I'm seeing right now. Okay. So here's another problem. If you have a tombstone and you tombstone someone with 0 hooks, does this stuff still activate? I mean, if you tombstone someone with 0 hooks, I feel like, you know, these... Wait, no, not these effects. I feel like these effects would be good to activate in that context. I don't know. This feels reduced stock range. Okay. So you get a Mori, because, like, you know, they're on hook 2, so instead of hooking them, you can just Mori them. Okay. Mechanics of stalking. Remove the limit pool of stalking points per survivor. Okay. That's nice. Reduce stalking range to 32 meters and remove distance modifier. Okay. Moving while stalking has increased movement speed but incurs a reduced stalk rate. Okay. Oh, reworked his add-ons. Okay, so we're probably not going to have any tombstones. I think tombstones were very overpowered. Again, given certain contexts, I think if you have to go through the work of earning all your Evil Within 3, you know, this, that, this. I think killing a survivor right off with 0 hook states is very strong. I think objectively it's very strong. This is odd. The strike thing, it's a pig dash though. We have, and if you, I don't know how I feel about this. Clown, minor update. Hopefully he got a little nerf. Increased activation time of Afterpiece Antidote. Increased how long Afterpiece... Wait. Increased activation time of Antidote, which is the one that makes him faster. Increased how long Tonic Hindered effect lingers after leaving smoke. That's it. That is interesting. The clown's problem was his speed. He's so fast. He's so fast, it's absurd. Activation time by how much? That, coupled with nerfs to his purple bottle, have pushed players towards this frustrating tactic to make both sides feel viable options without being too oppressive. No, I feel like that's not enough. I feel like this is too much. This is weird. This is an odd change. I feel like this is not enough. I feel like this is too much. I feel like this is too much. This is such a polarizing update. Unknown. Increase the additional time added to weaken when injured by UVX projectile. That might be a little bit too much. I feel like the time on a UVX projectile is just enough time to perfectly chain it. I feel like that's part of a skill ceiling, but maybe. Increase movement speed, recovery after teleporting. Okay. Increased camera vertical range. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can make better shots. It just has silver add-ons. Okay. I feel like this one's a little bit, I mean, unknown. I'd probably say he's A or B tier. I couldn't give you a crazy one. But okay, yeah, that's not too bad. Oh no. Dracula, what did they do to my boy? What did they do to my boy? Vampire form. Medium update. Medium. Slightly reduced Hellfire cooldown. Increased total Hellfire pillars by 1. Reduced Hellfire charge movement speed. Okay. Slightly increased slowdown time after casting Hellfire. Okay. Increased. Okay. I got to smile. That means you have to be more careful with your Hellfire, but your Hellfire is more or less stronger. Increased pounce attack charge time. Okay. Increased scent orb spawn time. Okay. Wolf form had a very easy chain where you get 2 scent orbs, or you dash, and then you grab 2 scent orbs and you could dash again. It's very easy to chain. I don't mind that it got a minor nerf. Adjusted movement friction to make flying easier to control. Oh, thank God! It felt like I was butter on ice sometimes when I was playing that. Right? It felt like butter on ice. It just has add-ons. Okay. I'm excited to see the add-ons. Get out of here, Epic Store. Ooh, the ghoul, please. Oh, please kill him. Oh, God, behavior, please kill him. Take him out back. I don't think ghoul... okay, so my opinions of ghoul right now. I think the way ghoul moves, the ghoul can go over a pallet and then on the same loop, down the survivor before the survivor reaches the pallet. I feel like the ghoul's biggest issue, and I feel like a lot of people can agree with me on this, is the cooldown between actions, like jumping and damaging, are too little. And while that's also said, the ghoul's auto-aim thing with his bite there's a lot of assist with that. There's too much assist. The first round I played ghoul, I think I got someone through a wall. The amount of times I've been bitten by ghoul through a wall is too many times. I've seen shots with ghoul that are impossible with Slinger or Huntress, and it's crazy. He's a little broken. I won't lie. I don't think they need to nerf him to a ground. I think they need to make his cooldowns just a smidge bigger and make the assist with the bite a little less. Just a little bit, please. When grabbing a survivor on the other side of a vault with Kanagi Leap, the survivor is released at the start of the ghoul's vault instead of at the end. Okay, that was what I just complained about, was that if the ghoul jumps over a pallet, he can reach the survivor before they get back to the pallet. I think that's good. I like this change. I think maybe add 1 or 2 minor nerfs. 1 or 2 minor nerfs. I don't hate ghoul. I don't think he's S+++ tier. I think he needs minor work. The Oni. I got 2 of my mains in one update. I saw what that said, but I'm going to read it out to you because I'm happy about it. Hooking a survivor now spawns more blood orbs. I want to hear some cheering. I want to hear some cheering for this shit. Do I have it on my hotkey? Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Wait, hold on. I got this. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not cheering, but it's happy laughter. Okay. Updated various perks. That's it. Stay tuned for the PDB. Oh, we're taking the details of these perks. This is crazy. This is crazy. This feels like, let me tell you what this feels like. This feels like a child having problem. So a child is at a table and they're building a castle with Play-Doh, and it's not working well because and after an hour, the castle starts to crisp up and dry up and it cracks. And so you know what the child does? The child, to repair the castle, smears it with ranch. The child, to fill the cracks of the Play-Doh castle, they dip their hand in ranch and they smear it all over the Play-Doh. And they're like, well, the cracks of the Play-Doh castle are now filled with ranch, so there's no cracks. I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly what this feels like. I feel like what I would change to the tunneling, right? Don't give survivors more. Don't give killers base kit, barbecue, and chili. I know that it says that have less or equal hook states to the hooked survivor. Don't do this. What I think, I like the, okay. I don't think, don't add the elusive. You know what I think? I think no collision with other players while after getting unhooked. I kind of like that. It's kind of growing on me. Immunity killer instinct, no. Killer's aura nearby, no. I feel like that's too much. I like this. I like no collision. So let's put it this way. A survivor unhooks another survivor. This is the survivor unhooked. The killer is you. You are the killer. I'm the unhooking survivor. The survivor that got unhooked is here. Now the unhooked survivor can run through me, and now I'm face to face with you. So you're forced to hit me. I like that. So now I take a protection hit, and now why would you even go for the unhooked survivor? You know, I see the potential here. I see the potential here for that. Immunity to killer instinct. There's so few killer instinct things. Why? It's such a weird change. See the killer's aura nearby. I would say for no more than 5 seconds. If they're doing this, no more than 5 seconds. Now, if you take all these effects, now everyone knows, I believe it's this way. Solo queue is not as strong as killer, but killer is not as strong as a survive with friends. And I don't say that in a negative way. The game is made to play with your friends. That being said, I still think that playing with your friends, having that coordination, is still a very, very strong aspect of DBD. Given that's the way you're supposed to be played. Don't crucify me in the comments. What I'm saying is that it is stronger. With stuff like this and communication, you can get a lot done. There's a lot of plays that are possible here. There's a lot of things that I think might make it harder for killers going up against a Swift. I think the slugging update, I think overall, good. I like it. I don't know. I feel like it's a little too strong. I'm not sure what I would take away. I think this might be okay. I'm just not sure. Again, when I get slugged, it's usually for more than 90 seconds. So having after 90 seconds, being able to pick myself up, If I get slugged for like 80 seconds, you know, it's like, okay, whatever. You came back for me. But at like 90 seconds, the killer's not coming back for you. That feels like a lot. The unhooking one feels like a like. I don't know how I feel about Myers. He just has Pig's Dash now. It's like the exact same, except it makes you exposed. Which I don't get. We've done a pass on nearly all his add-ons. We're working many of them to offer more unique effects. Fragrant Tuft of Hair will change to Evil Incarnate function like old Myers, offering explosive effect and no slaughtering strike. Okay. Oh, I keep clicking on things. I feel like Myers was such a polarizing killer. Because Myers at his worst is the worst killer in the game. Myers at his best is can just kill survivors without any hook states. He's a very interesting killer. Maybe this makes him more balanced, but I also think this makes him a little bit more boring. We'll have to see. I'm not sure. Clown, they didn't nerf enough. They didn't nerf him enough. I'll say that. I think Clown had a good spot where he was before all this. I don't know. Dracula changes aren't necessary, but you know, whatever. I don't think they're terrible. Ghoul's nerf was good. Oni's change was good. This is odd. My god, they did it. They turned him into a dash killer. Yeah. Stop disabling anti-tunnel endgame. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Stop disabling anti-tunnel, anti-camp. Jesus Christ. I don't agree with that part. Maybe I don't know. I don't know. I feel like endgame is like, it's balls to the wall. But I feel like some stuff should stop being disabled during endgame. Dash flop, we're just combining things now. Survivor handholding is strong with this one. I don't agree with the terminology they're using, but I do see where they're going. I see where they're going. Yeah. A lot of killer mates are going to hate this because it's been how the gameplay has been for 9 years, but it's a healthy direction for the game. Moving unenjoyable and uninteractive, frustrating gameplay and encouraging healthier playstyles for both sides is absolutely the direction they should be taking in DBD. If this results in the killers needing base kit buffs to their kits, or more buffs to encourage the anti-tunnel, anti-slug playstyles, then so be it. Do it. The game shouldn't remain with frustrating elements just because they've always existed. And no, just use X perk is not the answer. Fixing gameplay issues with perk design has always been a negative of DBD in my opinion. And yes, I also have that opinion for the killer side. Yeah. While I think tunneling is a bit strong, I like the slugging change. I feel like slugging is mostly just miserable a lot of the time for the survivor aspect, because there's genuinely nothing you can do about it. And I feel like the same goes for tunneling a lot of the time. Again, I still think the tunneling is a bit too strong. I think the slugging is good. Yeah. Where's their version of map keys, streetwise, Franklin's demise, removal of fog vials? Really big swings for anti-tunnel, I'm impressed. Okay, and another thing I want to say is, like, I feel like the items right now are, odd. I don't really care for maps still. I don't really care. Keys are pretty okay. I still feel like the biggest items in the game are still medkits and toolboxes. Fog vials were also nerfed, so they only have limited uses, which also kind of makes them... People don't want to use them now. We added a whole item to the game, and now 90% of people who were using them are not going to use them anymore. And I understand that be it this or that. I don't think fog vials were that strong. When the PTB came out, I was like, oh, fog vials are going to be so OP. But the more I played against fog vials, the more I realized they didn't really do much. They were kind of funny, and they were like good for like clip farming and whatnot, but yeah, I don't really... I feel like there's too many changes and too many drastic changes going on at once. I feel like if they took the time to implement these changes one at a time. And, you know, if they took the time to make these changes one at a time and did PTBs for all of them, added them to the game, got community feedback. Let's say they added the anti-slugging mechanic. They did the PTB for it, just that. They do the PTB for the anti-slug. They add it to the game. It goes on for a month or two. And then they're like, okay, well, reception has been really good. People have been slugged less, but also survivors aren't getting out too easy. So that's a good change. It's solid. We're not going to make any changes to it. We're going to actually move on to anti-tunneling. I feel like they're putting more of a workload on them and also like adding all these drastic changes all at once. And the community is going to have to deal with the change in how they play the game entirely. And I feel like sometimes for a lot of casual players in and out of DBD, I'm really in and out of DBD right now. It's going to take a lot to get used to. And I don't think it's necessarily bad that they do it all at once, but I do actually, but I think it's bad from the perspective of them. Obviously, they've been making a lot of health game changes. Like they're completely reworking their game right now, and I think that's nice. I like the cojones they got to change a lot of things for the better, to try to make things better. I don't necessarily think this update. I think for the anti-tunnel thing, they should mostly focus on, you know, the killer buffs for not tunneling. I think that was a good focus. I like that. I don't know about the survivor buffs for getting unhooked in general. I feel like it's a little bit much. I feel like unhooked survivors are going to be a little bit more ballsy. And here's another thing too, is when survivors get unhooked, right? If someone unhooks a survivor in front of me, I will go for the person who unhooked the survivor. But there are a lot of times where the unhooked survivor will body block me. Oh, actually, you're right. So the unhooked survivor will body block me, and I'm like, get out of my way. And so I tunnel them because I'm like, well, I can't get that other person now. So I'm going to go for you because you put yourself in my way, and now you're the target. But now that there won't be any collision, I think that fixes that issue I was about to bring up. Because I was about to bring up that issue and talk about this or that, but I like that. So now I, as the killer, am not body blocked by the survivor who gets unhooked. I like that. I think the notification change and not seeing the hook state, I think that's a bit much. And I'd like to be proven wrong. I would like to be proven wrong. I'd like to see the gameplay, see how it handles, see how it works. But knowing when someone is unhooked is good information, I feel like. And it's time sensitive. This is a lot. I feel like it's a bit too much. We are getting perk updates because they are adding a lot of things base kit. So Unbreakable's going to get a change. Barbecue and Chili's going to get a change. This is going to get a change. That's going to get a change. And we're going to look at that when it comes out, I guess. So there's that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. I think this is a lot. But overall, I think most of the changes are going to be good for DBD. Again, there's a few things I think are too extreme. I hope Behavior will clean it up, trim it, take care of what they need to before the update comes out. Other than that, pretty good. Pretty good. Not too bad, right? Either way, if you enjoyed today's video, show up next time. Same thing, different day. But until next time, stay safe, stay clean, take care of yourself, and have a great day and night, depending on your time zone. If you're not in my time zone, you're wrong. That's just how it is. But until then, until next time, when we will be covering the perks. I always forget what I say at the end of these videos. I'm just gonna say bye. Bye-bye. Well, I don't think I have anything to add, so I'm just gonna leave. We'll see how this update is. We'll see how it is. Either way, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.